from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca, my choice of a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar all in one. I saw that there's 9 people already on the live stream, so I went ahead and get started here. I saw Jimmy Millie in North Carolina. Let me just go through the comments here. Thursday night, that's right, Thursday night. Today is Friday morning here, holiday here in the Philippines. I did not have to take Leanne to school today. It's Benigno Aquino Day in the Philippines. He was one of the politicians here. He was assassinated on this day. He was going to be the future president of the Philippines, but he got assassinated as he came back from the United States. He was in exile in the United States, in Boston, for many years. Even taught at Harvard or something like that. He would do presentations at Harvard. But when he finally came here to the Philippines to run for president, he didn't even get off the plane. He was like on the steps, on the stairs, going down the stairs, and he got assassinated. But that led to the election of his wife, Corazon Aquino, to become the first female president of the Philippines. And then that also led to People Power back in 1986. Jokano, good morning. I know, Jokano, tomorrow is your last day of official work in the United States. Congratulations on your retirement. Good things to come, Joe. What an exciting time for sure. Passing through, hey, Mom Janet, I recognize the handle there. Good morning, Mom Janet. The shoe lady, right? The shoe lady. I remember seeing that on the news, him walking down the stairs and him getting shot. Yeah, they keep showing that here, that especially today because it's his anniversary of that assassination. All right, let me get started here. This thing is kind of blocking my comments here, so I can't read here. Let me see here. I got my laptop here. All right, the weather here. It's been amazing here in our province of Aklan, but I know in Luzon they've been having a lot of rain in Luzon. A lot of flooding. Videos of flooding in Manila, Zambales, over in northern Luzon, a lot of flooding. Yeah, even in Pampanga area, Bulacan area, in Luzon. But here, it's been nothing but sunshine here. Yesterday, man, it was one of the hottest days, it feels like, of the year. It was like up 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit, easy. Today, right now, here in Numancia, it feels like 88 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why I decided to film out here outside. Dazzle bought this furniture, this outdoor furniture made of cement. So we're gonna try to do more live streams outside here. This area, right? Let me see if I can show you really quick. I have my. All right. Let me flip the camera here. The sunshine here, as you can see, sunny day here. There's our car. There's Bumblebee on the corner there. And this is the furniture that Dazzle got. It's made of cement. This thing is like heavy. At least 100 kilos, probably over 200 pounds for this bench right here. It comes with like a table made of cement, everything made of cement here. And then it comes with a stool even, a couple of these stools right there. This is our area here I was talking about before. I built this for Bumblebee before, but now our motorbike sits right there. Mom does her laundry right here. This is the area where we plan on building like a tiny studio. It's gonna be our like YouTube studio, and then Dazzle and I will also sleep in this area. So we're planning right now, talking about design, and then talking to Lelong. Lelong is our builder. Lelong, very reliable. We like him. We finally found a good builder here. There's the area there where mom hangs the clothes, our clothes right there. So we'll still have a place to hang our clothes. So it's we're not gonna take that all away from mom. All right, let me. I've been using the power bank because this phone is old, so it runs out of battery fast. So I always have to connect it to the power bank. All right, let me just see here. All right, I'm back. I'm back with the power bank there. All right, all right. But I like it here. I feel a little breeze. It's not as hot as inside the house. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this, doing this outdoors. Let me go back here. Oh, I got a lot of comments. I gotta be fast on the comments here. Did she have 100? Oh no, no. Imelda Marcos is the one with all the shoes. She's still alive, actually. She's still going strong, actually. I just saw a video of her. She's Imelda Marcos is the mother of the current president, Bongbong Marcos. Maybe it was someone else. Yeah. It was Marcos, yes. Hey, there's Daniel. There's Daniel. All right, in Cebu City. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Jim says Imelda Marcos. Yep. Hello, Daniel. Good morning, Gino from JP Calibo. Hiya, Sergeant and JP. Brian Capistrano. All right, JP. Very cool furniture. I know, man. I filmed the delivery, so that'll be the next video out. I finally edited the video. You'll see the delivery because this thing is like heavy. I told Dazzle, you better find a spot where you want it permanently because I don't know how we're gonna move this thing if we ever have to move it. There he is, Expat Life Philippines, the vanilla farmer in Leyte, the Wyoming cowboy. Good morning, my brother. There's Castaway Drip, my brother from another in the Duca Duma. Bry Capistrano, good morning, sir. A wonderful and sunny day ahead. Yes, it is already warm in here, man. It's like 88 degrees Fahrenheit already here in Numancia. It's gonna get hotter. Yesterday, we were creeping up to like 100-degree temperature. Dazzle and I, we actually went to the beach esplanade. We tried that Joni's burgers. They have a smash burger, they call it. I filmed it and everything. It's pretty cool. The patty was like round like a ball, and they put it on the grill and they like smash it. So I guess you call it smash burger. Delicious. Dazzle's been wanting to try it. She saw it on Facebook, so we finally went to the beach esplanade, and you'll see it on the upcoming film. I'll upload that. Really nice. The esplanade now, man. It's like for Calibo, right on the beach by Lambingan Beach. Long esplanade, brick sidewalks. You can ride your bicycle. You can exercise, jogging, walking, and then every sunset time, I would say there was at least 30 food carts. They had those motorbikes with like the food truck behind it. Quite a few of those. And then I even saw one that was that new Toyota Tamaraw. It's a food truck, full-on food truck on the Toyota Tamaraw. And then what was cool about it, the top of it, they built like where you can eat on top of the food truck. I mean, how awesome is that? I told Dazzle, next time we go, we gotta go up on that thing. Whatever food they have on that food truck, we'll sit up top the food truck and you're overlooking the ocean. It's just amazing. I want to try that next time. Ruben actually went there but he doesn't stay long at the Esplanade, he was telling me. And I understand, Ruben's still new to riding his motorbike. He doesn't feel comfortable about riding the motorbike at nighttime. And I can't blame him. I would not ride a motorbike myself if it was nighttime. But he left already by the time I got there. But we were communicating with each other. I told him, Ruben, can you check out if that smash burger is there? So he sent me a photo. He sent me a photo of the truck, the food truck. Gino, it's right here. I said, all right, Dazzle and I will head over there and get the smash burger. All right, I got man, my phone here keep going up. I do not want to miss people's comments. Man, there's a lot of people. Okay, let me go through there. Bribe. That furniture, I know it's heavy. This thing will last forever. It's perfect for outdoor furniture because it can get wet. You just wipe it down, and then if the paint chips up, you can just keep painting it. The cost for the bench, the table, you can even put an umbrella. There's a hole in the middle here to put an umbrella. Is 6,500 pesos, including the stool, the table, and the bench. So about $105. And this thing, man, this thing is indestructible. Here, Peanut Butter Travels. Hello, Peanut Butter Travels. Joe Canoe. Morning, Charles Belus. Duma Dude. Good morning, Joe Canoe. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Lucita and I, we always text each other. She's in Maine. Good to see you, Lucita. Peanut Butter Travels. Good morning. Belus, Daniel. Morning, Cass, Joe. Maybe rain next week. We need it. It would not surprise me, expat life, because if all this sunshine we've been having here in Western Visayas the past few days, I know it's just a matter of time till the rain starts hitting us here. Good morning, JP. Hey, Edgar, it's cool here, brother. All right, I know Edgar right there. He lives in Washington, New Washington, Aklan. He's on the beach. You know, his backyard is the ocean. So I know it's cool over there, brother. Here, it's already starting to warm up, man. It's like 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 a.m., you know. So by noontime here, it's going to be close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm liking you being outside. You know, I know. Actually, Castaway Drip, there's an upcoming video I kind of dedicated to you there. I gave you a quick shout out because I filmed it walking around Calibo. And I had my sunscreen, of course, my hat, even had an umbrella because, man, I can't handle the heat here. I got to be careful because I've had cancer before. But I was walking, man. And I was like, dang, I don't know how Castaway Drift, I don't know how he does this. Because I was pouring in sweat, man. I had a dry fit shirt, but I was pouring, man. I was like, man, I had to stop again because of you. I was like, man, I got to find me a buko. So I was drinking buko. You'll see that all in the film, man. Morning, Edgar, Jokanu, JP, good morning, Belus. Hey, Lowell, kumusta from Oregon? God bless. I know you're getting that spinal cord surgery, man. I know that it's spinal cord. Prayers for you, Lowell. You know, hope everything works out with that surgery. Hey, Castaway Drift, Joe, JP, Edgar, Lowell. Really wishing you fab. Yes, definitely for. Hey, there's Cooper, Doug, I'll just call you Doug. He's from Colorado. He reached out to me. Doug is about a year away from retiring permanently, and he's looking at that Aklan province, possibly Calibo or Boracay. So I told him, man, I'm your guide. I'm your sponsor, man. Whatever you need from me, Doug. You're part of the group, part of this group. Joe, he's gonna be here soon. Daniel, I know he's gonna be moving from Cebu City to here. I talked to another person, Ron. He's in California. He wants to come here to Panay Island also. And I always tell people, Panay Island is a hidden gem here in the Philippines. It's got everything that you'd want in a retirement destination. a lot of places that are peaceful. Boracay, one of the best beaches in the world. Plenty of beaches, local beaches in Panay Island, and then you got Iloilo City, more metro. It's got good hospitals, Western amenities, malls. Rojas City is really nice. A lot of expats are moving to Rojas City. It's just I just think there's something for everyone if you come here to Panay Island. Lowell, morning GP. Joe, Michael. Hi Lowell. Hiya Daniel from Edgar. God bless Lowell. We are all praying for you, Lowell. We're all rooting for you, my brother. We just want you to get healthy and then hopefully one of these days join us here in Panay Island. I missed that Esplanade. I was there 2025 and the smash burger wasn't there yet. Man, there's just so much stuff. Man, it's becoming like the food truck. I guess you can't really call, I guess you can call it a food truck. I didn't know what to call it because I'm filming it. I'm going like, should I call this a food truck? Because it's not a truck. It's in a motorbike or the motorbike is in front and it's like, but so many of them now, so many of them, at least a dozen of the food trucks and then the regular carts. And then people just put table and they got burgers, they got quesadillas, they got pizzas, lots of drinks. I had a guyabano drink, delicious guyabano drink. Dazzle, she had three. Dazzle had the mango drink, the guyabano drink, and the avocado drink. It's becoming very popular. A lot of people just go to the Esplanade. They bring their the camping chair, even like a little camping table, and they just chill, man. They just chill there. You can just sit, watch the sunset. There's people fishing. There's the two piers where you can fish. It's just becoming a popular spot in Calibo. I know Ruben tells me he goes there often during the week. As long as the weather allows, he's on the Esplanade. Morning GP from Castaway Drift. Good morning Jim Millie. They want to install a spine simulator in my back, but declined because I don't know if I could. Oh, okay. If you can maintain that in the Philippines. Prayers, definitely. Prayers for Lowell. Aloha! All right, Derek. No longer in Leyte. Derek back in Hawaii, but I know Derek's gonna head back to Leyte in a couple of months here. Hey, New Washington. Gino, is that where? Yeah, New Washington. They are famous for their oysters. They supply oysters not just in Panay Island, Boracay. Some of those oysters even make it all the way to Manila at I think they call it dampa, where it's cooked. You see the seafood and cook it, but very famous the New Washington oysters. Cheap too. You can get a kilo of New Washington oysters for like 50 US cents. So 2 kilos for $1. That's how, and they're amazing. The size of the oysters, they're not teeny, they're big oysters. Delicious oysters. Hello, Derek. I know. Derek's having cataract surgery, also a tripler medical center in Hawaii. Prayers for that, man. I hope all goes well with that surgery, Derek. I will definitely check out the video, brother. Listening to you explain that I know, right? And I was like, I was doing the walk. I was like, man, this is an ode to my good friend Michael. I'm blessed to have you as a friend, brother. I truly believe God. I know, brother. I know. It's like people connect. I think God connects good people together. Edgar, Panay Island is the blessed place to retire, according to Edgar. It has a little bit. It does, right? That's what I'm saying, Edgar. I think Panay Island just has something for everyone. If you want to be up in the mountains, remote. If you want to be by the beach. If you want to be close to a city, Iloilo City. It just has everything that so much to offer. And then good location. You're only like 20. You're about 20 minutes to Guimaras Island. You're 2 hours away to another island, Negros Island, which you got Bacolod in Negros. You got Dumaguete in Negros. And hopefully soon, a bridge. Hopefully soon, a bridge to connect all these islands here. Thank you, Joe from Lowell. Yes, Edgar, without the drama of the more popular area. Yeah, we just don't have that. We don't have a lot of that, what's going on in other places. And basically, we don't have as many. We don't have as many expats here yet in Panay Island. I think if you come to Panay Island right now, if you go to Rojas City, you go to Calibo, Iloilo, maybe Rojas and Calibo, it's still in the beginning stages of expat migration. Iloilo's got more, but still nice. Iloilo's still nicer than most of the cities. A lot better than Manila, a lot better than Cebu City. Most people that live in Manila, most people that live in Cebu City, once they see Iloilo City, they go, dang, I need to move here. I need to move here. Aloha, Derek, Edgar. Great minds think alike. I was thinking about messaging yesterday about going there to record that place. And all right, hey, let me know. Let me go, Edgar, when you want to head out to the Esplanade, because we can go anytime. Dazzle loves that. It's not just the smash burger. There's so much to try there. We haven't tried a lot of the food there. So just let us know, Edgar, when you guys want to go there. We'll meet you there. We'll meet you there. I pray for your cataract. Goes, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, man. We're all praying for Derek. Eyes, cataract, man. That's no joke, man. I hope you, Dazzle, and Mom could visit Tagaytay. All right, bro. I have taken Dazzle to Tagaytay. We have videos of our time in Tagaytay. One of these days, we were talking about that. It would be nice if Mom and Liana can go with us too on a vacation trip outside of Panay, like on a plane. We've been discussing that. I wanted a Terminator chassis to fix my back pain when I was working. Not available. Not available in the Philippines. Make sure you subscribe to make sure you are alerted. Oh, thank you, Derek. I'm brainstorming some ideas for the scheduled Sunday brownout. Supposed to be 5 a.m. Maybe Valencia, natural spring pool. You got so many options there. I'll be out early, for sure. Here we've been getting power outages here almost every day. We had another one yesterday. Lasted about an hour and a half yesterday. Middle of the day too, middle of the day. That's when it's hot here. But it is what it is when we go, when we see power outages, like Michael's saying, we just go somewhere. We just go to the mall. They have a generator at Guangaisano, so you can hang out at the mall. Hey, there's OB. I used to say to OB from Columbia, South Carolina, also Nalia, and my good buddy Isaiah. But now OB's in the Philippines, and he's been here in the Philippines for a while now, a couple of months now, I think, in Mariveles, in Bataan. He's just been busy. He hasn't been able to join us on the live stream. And I told him, hey, I totally understand, man. He's got a kid, he's got a kid that has to go to school and everything. We were even talking about that when he was, let me pull up my info. We were talking about that before he was heading here. He was thinking about maybe homeschooling Isaiah, and he ended up going to school, to like a regular school, to like a international school. And what he's told me, he's got, his kid has more friends here now in the Philippines going to school than he ever had when he was in South Carolina. And I was happy to hear that. That Isaiah is having a great time here in the Philippines. Oh, and he found a Wigo, man. He got a great deal on the Toyota Wigo. I used Wigo. I'm not worried when it comes to Olson, when it comes to vehicles, because he can refurbish, he can rebuild any engine. He had like an old Toyota RV that he fully restored in the U.S. So not worried about also. So I know he can handle like a used vehicle, but he got a great deal on the vehicle. I think he paid less than $2,000 on a Toyota Wigo, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Olsen. Yeah, that's why Joe's saying long time no see. He's been busy, man. He's been busy getting settled in Maribeles in Bataan. That's in Luzon, in the Luzon. So Isaiah's in school now, attending international school. Food parks are now a trend. I think so, Bri. I think that food thing, that I know in Calibo there's a couple of ati-atihan food park, but nothing compares to the one that in the Esplanade now. I like the vibe in the Esplanade because just a stretch of like food trucks, food carts, and you get to take a pick. You can just walk around and pick what you want, and then hop a squat in a chair, one of those camping chairs, and just watch the ocean while you're having your dinner. That place is just gonna be busier and busier, especially Friday night, like tonight, Friday night, Saturday night. I can't even imagine the amount of people at that Esplanade. Hello, Joe. I've been busy. I know, man. Oh, yeah. I told Olson, man, take care of business, man. Don't worry about the live stream, man. He was like, man, I haven't been able to come in your live stream. I told him, shoot, man, you got a lot, getting settled in the Philippines, especially Olson. He's got Aliyah, his wife, Isaiah, so he's making sure everything is squared away here in the Philippines. Good morning, Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve, good morning, my brother. The daily brownouts have somewhat eased up, but have been happening twice a day for at least 10 days or straight. No worries, I'm never home. You're never home. For us, it's the same thing. The minute the power goes out, Michael, Dazzle, and I look at each other. Oh, where are we going? We're going to the Esplanade. We're going to Calibo. We're going somewhere. It's like it just gives us an excuse to go somewhere when the power goes out. Had to buy solar due to power. Yeah, Scuba Steve, I'm down to I know I'm gonna purchase it. It's just right now I'm not gonna go full on solar in the house. That's too much for us. It's like I don't have that kind of money. But we're gonna go with the EcoFlow, the bigger EcoFlow. They're costing about 50,000 pesos, and then with the foldable solar panels that comes with it, I can get a whole package, I think, for about 60,000 pesos. So about $1,000 for it, and that's plenty for us because we already have the small Blue Yeti for our internet. This one would be like for electric fan, light, things like that. Between the two of those, that's all we will need for the power outages. And then with the power outages here in the Philippines, I've been here 15 years. I know how it goes. It's seasonal. There's just a time of the year where you get a lot of power outages. And then, everybody buys their solar, everybody buys their power bank, right? Because everybody's panicking. It's like, dang, no electricity. I need my electricity. And then next thing you know, it go 3-4 months and no power outages. It is what it is, But it's good to have. I do know it's a nice luxury to have that power station and extra power when the power goes out. 3.5 weeks. Okay, Maribel, but I was thinking you were there longer, but 3.5 weeks. All right, Olsen. Pinay Heart. Hey, Pinay Heart from Oceanside, California. Good morning, good morning. I can definitely relate to making more friends here in the Philippines. I have made more friends in 2 years. I know. That's what Olson was telling me about Isaiah. His kid going to school. Didn't have the amount of friends that he has now all of a sudden here in the Philippines. It's not even close. Not even close. Yeah, I think for me it was the same. I had my friends, of course, at work, but the work consumes you. When I was in Tucson, Arizona, uh, I end up hanging out with people that I work with, pretty much. But meeting out, like outside your work in the U.S. is hard just because nobody had the time. Here in the Philippines, everybody's got time. Hi, Pinoy Heart from Joke Canoe. Life is more fun and friendly. It is, right? JP Kalibu saying life is more fun and friendly in the Philippines. Joke Canoe. Filipinos are more friendly and open to friendships. In the West, people are all too busy. Yeah, everybody's, work pretty much, I know, consumes a lot of people in the U.S. Trying to make that money. Here in the Philippines, there's just a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands, and even people that work, they make time. They make time to socialize and have friends here. The drive along the shoreline going to the mountains in Antique had amazing views and the smoothest road. Well, that's one thing I've noticed too, Edgar. In Antique province, they got some of the smoothest roads there because I guess because it's not well traveled. Not many people travel to Antique province. But beautiful scenery, right? Edgar, on the shoreline. Like and subscribe from Scuba Steve. All right, all right. I do have a topic. But I wanted to get all the pleasantries. The pleasantries. Let me get started here on my topic. Filipino and American mindset. That's going to be our topic for today. I mentioned it briefly on one of the videos. A lot of the mindset between the big difference, of course, that makes the mindset different for Filipinos and Americans. I have lived in America for 30 plus years, almost 30 years here in the Philippines. So I kind of like, can see both views. But the biggest difference, and it affects everything, how Filipinos do business here, is the money. They just don't make the same income as people in America. Here in the province, I know they're trying to raise the minimum wage here in the province to like 500 pesos a day. That's like $9 a day. So if you're a Filipino here in our province of Aklan and you're making $9 a day, even for a Filipino, that's not a lot. Especially if you have a wife, you have kids. You can't really do a lot with that amount of money. That affects everything that the Filipinos do. A lot of Filipinos in the provinces, your farmers, your fishermen, a lot of those people live day to day. I know in the U.S. many people live paycheck to paycheck. You hear that, right? In the U.S. I'm paycheck to paycheck, man. After my paycheck, I pay all the bills and I got this left. Well, in the Philippines, here in the province of Aklan anyway, it's not even paycheck to paycheck. It's not even 15 days or every 30 days. It's day to day. It's day to day living here. It's people looking for jobs like if I had this studio made here, Lelong, but my builder, Lelong, he's going to hire like a crew of people, 4 or 5 people to build that little studio we're going to build here. And those people are going to just work day to day. I'm going to pay them. Okay, I'm going to agree with Lelong. I'm going to pay these guys whatever amount. If it's 400 a day, if it's 500 a day, and the guys, they're basically, the minute the job is done, they're out on the street again, going to look for the next job. So definitely a struggle for many Filipinos here. Even the fishermen that goes out in the boats, they gotta gas up the boat that they take, and they gotta go farther now. Like here in Aklan province, I know they go farther out at sea because they're not catching much fish closer to the shoreline. So the gasoline that you use on those boats, and you're relying that hopefully you can catch fish. Filipinos had a community mindset, like the hometown mindset. Yeah, yeah, that's part of my discussion here, Joe. I got it on my notes. I got it on my notes on the laptop here. Good morning. We are North Carolina. All right, another group, another North Carolina. All right, Jim and Millie is from North Carolina. JM, I'll just call you JM. Hello, JM. Derek. All right, all right. The one mindset that a lot of Filipinos, I think they have it more of a necessity than I'm sure they don't really want to have that kind of mindset. But a popular mindset here in the Philippines is called bahala na. Bahala na is, how do I explain this in English? Bahala na is like, basically, I leave it up to the Lord, or, it's like a bahala na. Because a lot of people here in the Philippines, they don't have medical insurance, unfortunately. I know in the U.S., it's like most people, you have to have medical insurance, right? There's even, I think, a law in the U.S. now that everybody's supposed to carry medical insurance. Here, I know here in the Aklan province, a very low number of people that carry any type of medical insurance. A lot of times when people get sick here, if it's a big hospitalization, let's say you got to get admitted to like a private hospital, man, people start selling whatever they can sell. They start borrowing money from whoever they can borrow. That's just the way of life. That's way of life for a lot of Filipinos. There are government hospitals. I know Tumbukan Hospital in Calibo. It's a government hospital. If you're a senior citizen, it's free. If you're a senior citizen, Filipino senior citizen, it's free. But unfortunately, with most of your government hospitals, you're not gonna get the best care or the best accommodations. Some government hospitals here don't have AC. Patients in the hallway, might not be the best condition, but for the poor people here in the Philippines, they don't have an option. They don't have an option, but the government hospitals. Like Joe was saying, here in the Philippines, we have what's called bayanihan. Bayanihan is the spirit of the Filipino people. It goes back to like the history of the Philippines, probably decades where a lot of homes here in the Philippines back in the day, they were made of bamboo, and there still are. You can still find homes that are made of bamboo, and when people move, they move the entire house. They lift the house. It's called bayanihan. You see pictures of it. You got like 20 people lifting that bamboo house, carrying it on their shoulders, and they're moving the entire house. It still happens. I still see that happening in some provinces here in the Philippines. So that spirit of bayanihan, it kind of, even to this day, even in the community here, in our subdivision, neighbors share. It's like we have neighbors on our street here that they have farms. They live here in our subdivision, Camila Clan, but they got farms. Out here in Aklan, and they've been just like come by here to our house. They bring us like plantain bananas, or they bring us a gigantic papaya, and they say, "Oh, we just harvest this from our farm." People do that here. People do that here in the province. That's one of the nicest things that people got that sharing spirit. They harvested a lot of stuff. Even James and Karen's adventure, he's getting that mindset because James got all that corn, that sweet corn. Man, on my birthday, James got me like a bag of sweet corn, man, and we all love it, man. It's like the sweet corn that James got us. So it's like amazing, delicious. I mean, like nice yellow sweet corn. Macho Dos. Macho Dos is the name of the sweet corn. In southern Leyte, very poor people, but they are happy. And that's the thing, like southern Leyte, I know in the Philippines, Leyte and Samar, ever since I've been, living even in the 70s, is some of the poorest areas here in the Philippines. But, you know, people are happy. People know how to have a good time. Same dynamic happens here, there in Aklan province. You know, yeah, the farmers here, the fishermen that you see, even in Boracay, the boatman people in Boracay. When you're hanging around them, you wouldn't sense that they're like, you know, even the poverty that they're dealing with. You wouldn't sense that. They're still, you know, they're laughing, they're kidding around, you know, usually red horse is involved. And that's the other thing that, you know, that's part of my thinking. The mindset in America and the Filipinos are just so different. The Filipinos that are here, the Filipinos that go to the U.S., you know, they get Americanized. They start living the, you know, American life. Nothing wrong with that. I was one of them. You know, it's like same thing. You know, it's like when I was in the U.S., I picked up that, you know, buying everything that you want. You know, that materialism. You know, me. You know, I gotta get that. I gotta have that. You know, here in the Philippines, it's just more when you're around family all the time. Growing up here in the Philippines, in our house in Quezon City, I had cousins living with us. You know, there was, I would say, it was me, my sister, my brother, and then I had like 5 cousins living in our house. You know, there's like a dozen people in our house, and they were family. They were family. So the dynamic when you're in that situation, you end up sharing. Of course, you know, it's like whatever you have. You know, hey. Dang it. Everybody's like, what are you eating? You know, if you get a bag of chips, you know, everybody's going to get a piece of your bag of chips. Whereas in the U.S., you know, because you don't have that big family structure, a lot of times, you know, not all the time, I know there's big families in the U.S. too, but a lot of times, you know, especially now, you know, I see, you know, before I came here to the U.S., a lot of my friends only had like 1 kid, maybe two, you know, because you can't afford having a lot of kids, you know. Same thing here in the Philippines. You really can't afford a lot of kids, but they keep having them. They keep having them here. Rice is life because many wouldn't have the money to feed their families without a cheap food source. Many items like eggs, chicken are much cheaper than here. Yeah, the diet, right? The diet that you would have, you know, if you're like a farmer here in the Philippines or a fisherman, you're relying on what you can grow or what you can catch from the ocean. Uh, you don't, you know, a lot of times they don't even have a fridge. You know, there's a lot of homes here in the province that don't even have a refrigerator. Food is not one of, you know, that's the thing in the U.S. where when we shop as Americans, we're loading up the fridge. You know, some people got those double door fridge, right? A whole door, a freezer, a whole, you know, sometimes they got a freezer in the garage or another fridge in the garage. That mindset of, man, I might run out of food. I might run out of food. You know, you're like you're going to Costco and loading up on stuff from Costco, just like putting all these on your pantry, a lot of stuff in the pantry. Well, here in the Philippines, the mindset of Filipinos here, I gotta just make it to tomorrow. You know, I'm going to the public market to get lunch. You know, it's like just a different, again, because of, you know, the money situation. What happens will happen. Jim and Millie, yeah, Joe, but it usually happens to me. You know? I wouldn't met my wife if she didn't come to Olongapo when I was stationed in the Navy. And through that, I remember when I was little when I was growing up in the 70s in Manila. The Leyte and Samar people would go to Manila, and a lot of them ended up, you know, becoming domestic helpers. A lot of even now in Manila, wish fortune was here, but a lot of like the impoverished areas here in Visayas, they go to Manila to work as domestic helpers in Manila, because in Manila you got a lot of rich people. You know, you got whole communities, you know, Dasmariñas, you got Makati, you got whole areas in Manila, BGC, you know, it's like, And a lot of those people, they want to hire maids. They want to have domestic helpers. And a lot of the domestic helpers come from the Visayas region and Mindanao. It's always been like that. It's always been like that here in the Philippines. That's why there's even, you know, when you're from the Visayas region, I wouldn't call it like a little bit of discrimination, but the people in Luzon, especially in the your Makati area, the high end area, BGC area in Manila, the people coming from Visayas and becoming domestic helpers, they I can't say they treat them less, but they look at them as the help. You know, they look at them as the help. They don't look at them as their equal. Jokano, no use fighting fate. It is better to laugh than cry. Laughing lifts your mood. Yeah, I mean, that is the one thing that the mindset of the Filipino, man. They can have the hardest life here in the Philippines. Even the construction guys, they could be working. Man, if you can just imagine working out in the construction, like in the heat of the day, 100-degree temperature, without no canopy or anything. You're just like baking out in the sun. Cement mixing, hand mixing cement, carrying hollow blocks up. When they build like 2-story homes here, 3-story homes, they don't have like a pulley system or anything like that to carry that hollow blocks. They carry it on their shoulder. The cement bags, they carry all that in their shoulder. Just hard work. But the minute 5 p.m., 6 p.m. hits, it's red horse time, and they look forward to that. That's their mindset. Again, just day to day, just surviving the day to day. Ruben, hey Ruben, ¿qué pasa, brother? G, about to start my daily routine. Hang loose. All right, Ruben. Ruben always walks around. He's like JP. He walks around the Pastrana Park area. Ruben likes to go to Pares Retiro. And then that one street where I filmed all the carinderia, Ruben likes to go there and get his lunch and dinner to go. That way he don't have to cook. It's amazing to see how they can put a small, cheap e-bike together with a sidecar for fan. That's popular now, right? That's popular now, Edgar. I've seen that. Little e-bike, and it's not even the e-bikes like in the US, the bigger e-bikes. These are tiny e-bikes, and they'll put a sidecar on it, and the whole family will be riding that e-bike. Jereen, hello, Gino. You are a special. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Jereen. You have 2 huge vantage points that many people do not have. Filipino life, God bless you. Oh, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that my mom gave me the opportunity to live in the United States. I would not have this life if my mom didn't take me to America. Wouldn't have a military pension. It's like if I had stayed here in the Philippines, I would not have a United States military pension. And that's the thing, that's another thing, the mindset of the Filipino. The Filipinos here in the Philippines, not many get pensions here. The government here in the Philippines, if you're a senior citizen, currently a senior citizen, they pay you 1,000 pesos a month. 1,000 pesos is like $17. I don't care where you live in the world. $17 doesn't go far, and they're actually trying to raise it. They're trying to raise it to 2,000, double it to like $34, but still, that's not much. And a lot of jobs here in the Philippines, especially now, there's not really a way to get like a big pension when you hit 60s. 60 is senior citizen here. So usually when you turn 60 in the Philippines, they expect you to retire, or the job or whoever. The government jobs, I know they do have a pension in the government jobs, but a lot of times it's lump sum. Depending on the amount of years you work for the government, and then at 60, you get like a lump sum payment, but nowhere close to like what Americans get for Social Security or pension plans in the U.S. the local SSS is a triple S, and not just Social Security. Here, I guess it's called something, but it's the same thing. It's like in the U.S. where the more you put into it, when you hit a certain age here in the Philippines, the more you can collect. But you know, a lot of times the only people that can really donate a lot to their Social Security are like the OFW. I know a friend of mine here, Toto, Kuya Toto, down the street here. He's a seaman. He works in cruise ships, and he's putting in a lot on his SSS because when he's older, he'll be collecting more. But not many Filipinos can do that. You know that are here in the Philippines. Of course, you got your business people like our good friend Fortune. He's an executive banker at RCBC, so he's got a good balloon. You know, he's got retirement pension. Money's not going to be an issue for him when he retires. But you know, not many of those in the Philippines. The gap between the poor and the rich here in the Philippines is just it's enormous. The one thing good I can say though, the middle class here in the Philippines is growing. More and more people, even for me, the last 15 years here, I've seen it with Filipinos here. More and more people can afford vehicles now. More and more people can afford vacations to Japan, to Thailand, to Singapore, Guam. You know, the middle class here in the Philippines is growing because, again, because of OFW, overseas Filipino workers, and then the call centers that increase the pay. But now people are moving. I've noticed a lot more Filipinos entrepreneurs, people that are smart, that are taking advantage of the situation here in the Philippines, where you got a mass amount of people here that you don't have to pay much, you know, that can somehow start a business. Or I know Boracay, many had gotten rich in Boracay. Here in the Aklan province, different types of businesses are popping now. You know, regarding vehicles, regarding, you know, the farming. That's hard. But the only thing that I see that, you know, for like if you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times you see expats that do the farming here because they have the means. You know, you get the means to like buy land, you know, put in your Filipinas name, and then you can hire people here again for low income, low salary. But for the Filipinos, a lot of times, you know, they're in that trap. You know, a lot of Filipino farmers here, a lot of Filipino fishermen here, you know, they just do that day to day. The problem I see here with all the different types of like farming goods, you know, like your corn, your sugar, your rice, whatever crop it is that the province produces, there's kind of like a monopoly. You know, there's families that control it. Unfortunately, the normal person, the guy, you know, the actual farmer doing the land. A lot of times they don't even own their land. They're just working in the land, and they can't compete. They can't compete with like the big families or the big corporations here, because if you have like, let's say 1 hectare, you're competing with people that have like 100 hectares, that got machinery, that got a lot of people, and they got the monopoly on where to sell this stuff, you know. That's why I think like what Belus is doing with vanilla in Leytes, it's so good because he's not profiting himself. He made a corporation where he made his employees part of the corporation, you know. But how many people do that in the Philippines? You know, you're not going to find many people that do that. You know, he's just kind-hearted. That's why he does that. Jareen, hello, Gino. You are as bless you. All right, Bon. Hey, you are live. All right, Bon. Hey, Ruben, Chukanu. My wife and I arrived this December. We are very excited. All right. We are all right. That's all right. Well, let me know if you have any questions about the Philippines if you're arriving this December. Bon, what's up, Panay Pasi? Panay Pasi Live. Derek, In working the nightclubs, yeah. Well, we know that there, right? Because you were at Subic. I was at Clark, Back in the day, back in the 80s, right outside Clark Air Base and right outside Subic, there was like hundreds of bars there. And a lot of people come to Angeles City, go to Olongapo City from all over the Philippines, not just Visayas region, because the work was there. Many met Americans, many met GIs and ended up going to America. Happy retirement. I know, right, Ruben? Happy retirement for Jukano. The mindset extremely different in the U.S. from the Philippines. Grateful I am now part of the Pinoy mindset. Mindset. And then, the friendliness of the Filipino, that's a different mindset too that you see more here. Even Filipinos just are friendly. They want to have friends. It's hard to find a Filipino here. One of the things you'll notice here, when Filipinos go out to McDonald's, even to Jollibee or to a restaurant, it's with a bunch of Filipinos. It's rare to see a Filipino eating by themselves. With Americans, I eat by myself. It's like it doesn't bother me, but you don't see that with a lot of Filipinos. If you just sit at McDonald's or sit at Jollibee, look around. You're not gonna find many Filipinos eating by themselves because I guess they're thinking, oh, kawawa. They go kawawa, like poor guy. He doesn't have any friends. That's the way I look at it. Me, man, when I'm eating by myself and when I'm in a cafe by myself, I'm chilling, man. I'm just like enjoying the peacefulness of it. Hey, Joe, time is coming. Edgar, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Hey, Bon, good to see you. Daniel, too. Bon, Panay bound, Daniel. Hello, Sir Bon. Obi, the most adventure. All right. Obi, que sera, kuya. Worrying is a waste of time and energy here. And I was going to point that out. Thank you for saying that. When I was in the U.S., one of the things I noticed, when I was in the U.S., you have friends, right? You have friends, and so common in the U.S. to where seems like everybody was in therapy. Therapy, and a lot of people on anxiety medication. You just don't hear that here in the Philippines. Even here in Calibo, if I have to look for a therapist in Calibo to talk to me about my mental health, it's hard to find. I've never seen one. I've never seen one here in Calibo. Or people on, taking anti-anxiety meds, or you just don't see. You don't you don't hear it as common. Unlike in the U.S., it's like people aren't even yeah, I'm on Prozac. It's like so common here. A lot of times, when people have have mental issues here, or having mental difficulties, going to depression. A lot of times you go to your priest, you go to your minister, you got church, you got church with a lot of Filipinos. A high number of Filipinos just go to church and look at the church, look at the priests, the ministers, people in their church as their people that they can go to and tell their problems and discuss it with them. A lot of times Filipinos when they're going through depression, they're going through hard times in their life, people will just tell them, hey, you need to pray more. That's the thing. And I know that's not that in the US, it's like before I left, that's what I just saw. I saw a lot of people, a lot of my friends that I knew, a lot of my coworkers, and they're open about it. It's not like they're hiding it that, oh, I got to get off work today, I got therapy at 6. It's like you just don't see that dynamic here. Even as hard as the life here in the Philippines, you just don't see that. A lot of times people will just tell him, man, it's like you got to be tougher. That's the advice you'll hear. You just got to be stronger. Ruben, I am so looking forward to life on Saturdays. OB, Von, enjoy the adventures. Sean, all right. Eating two times a day at calendars would cost about how much per day? Oh, at the karinderya, at the karinderya. All right. Eating two times a day. Like for Ruben, if he eats twice a day at the karinderya, and I know Ruben, he's got a good appetite. He likes his Filipino food. He likes the pancit, the lumpia, the pakbet, the pinakbet, the vegetable dish, rice, and drinks. All included, I would say Ruben probably spends about 250 pesos per meal. So about $4 per meal. So for the whole day, for two meals, lunch and dinner, about 500 pesos, about $8-9 is all he spends. That's why for him, Ruben always tells me it doesn't make sense for him to like, shop at the market and cook because he can eat all variety of food, not the same food every day. When you're living by yourself and you make something, I did that when I was in America. A lot of times you got to eat it for dinner, you got to bring it for lunch tomorrow, and then sometimes there's still leftovers, because it's hard to cook for like one person or like a specific one meal. For Ruben, it's not a problem. He just goes to the carinderia, eats his lunch there, and gets like a meal, his dinner as to go. Spends about 500 pesos, about $8-9. Oh, and pandesal, right there, right there. Ruben saying, and then pandesal in the morning. You can get a bag of pandesal. The same thing I got. Ruben gets that, 10 pieces. 10 pieces is like less than $1, and then just have coffee with it, whatever drink you drink with it, and the pandesal. Caretaker. 1,000 peso now is 16 point. All right. I gotta keep that in mind. That 1,000 pesos now is about $16, not 17. Not 17. It's going up. The peso. I think what was the rate on the peso? I think it's 61.65, nearing the all-time high again. Philippines really needs more kind-hearted entrepreneurs. Yeah, I have to agree. Bond. But a lot of times it's the world we live in. It's like money rules. Wish that there were more kind-hearted entrepreneurs, but a lot of times it's like, Mr. Boracay, there he is, Merle, Mr. Boracay in Boracay Island. True, Kuya. I learned to enjoy eating alone here. Eating alone, right? Pinay Heart, when you were here in the Philippines, how many times did you eat alone in the Philippines? I mean, Filipinos here don't even go to the bathroom by themselves. It's like every time Dazzle's got to go to the bathroom, I got to go with her. I got to stand outside, or Leanna, come with me. I'm going to use her CR. It's like, nobody does anything here by themselves, especially the Filipinas. And they always go in packs. They always go in packs there. I eat by myself, Kuya G. I know, man. But Merle right here, I know he's got his breakfast down. He's sending me photos of his breakfast. He'll cook like fish. He'll have fish for breakfast, eggs, pandesal, I know, and garlic rice. I know he makes garlic rice. Mr. Boracay likes to cook food himself because that's how you save money. If you're making your own food, you're not even hitting 500 pesos for two meals. If you're making your own food, and then healthier. I know Merle here. He only eats like twice a day. Merle's like, he likes the gym. He likes to work out. He looks really fit. Sweetie. All right, Cooper. Are homes purchased, then renovated and resold for profit? Flipping homes? I know. I don't see flipping homes here a thing, Doug, because the problem here is finding the buyers. It's not a buyer's market here in the Philippines. It's like homes here. If you have a home and you're trying to sell it, it takes years to sell homes here. It's not. This is not a place to like. I know what you mean. When I was in Arizona, that was common. You would buy like a foreclosure, something cheap, refurbish it, flip it, like for a couple of months and make profit. Hard to do it here in the Philippines. For one, the problem here is not many people have cash. And then not many banks will like loan people money. In order for you to get a bank loan here for Filipinos anyway, they have to have collateral. That you got to show the bank that you are able to pay them. You know, you have to show the bank that you have a high paying job and all that. A lot of transaction here for buying homes and everything is cash driven. You can sell homes here. A lot of times it's negotiated to like several payments, like 10 payments, 20 payments. Just not a place to flip homes. For a family of 4 to 5, I estimate spending 1,000 a day for groceries. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. About 16, $17 a day for a family of 4 or 5. So 30,000 pesos a month. You know, that's like $500 a month in groceries. That's a lot of groceries. That's a lot of groceries here. Next month is Christmas already. The Burmans, correct. The Burmans, September 1st. The minute September 1st hits, they start selling Christmas trees here. The malls will start playing Christmas music. Jose Marie Chan, you'll see him on Facebook, on YouTube. Food security is national security. Daniel, sadly, lots of Pinoy food is very salty or sweet. Yeah, that's why a lot of times, you know, if you're concerned about your diet, you know, you'll have to cook your own food. If you're gonna rely on the carinderia, if you're gonna rely on the fast food places here, one of the things Filipinos they do not do well is cooking healthy. You know, the Filipinos don't understand cooking healthy here. They cook here for flavor. They cook here. They like their stuff sweet. You know, it's like even adobo, even chicken adobo, pork adobo. Heck, even spaghetti is sweet here. You know, they'll put sugar in it. They'll put spaghetti. They put condensed milk on spaghetti here. You know, so just a different. That's why if you like to eat healthy, you're gonna have to cook yourself, or find a Filipina that cooks healthy for you. Pinay Heart, never eat alone. I know, right? Pinay Heart, I bet you your entire life you never ate alone in the Philippines. And all of a sudden in the U.S., that's so common, right? When I worked in the U.S., you know, my lunch break, I always like, you know, want to go out the hospital. I would eat somewhere close to the hospital, but I'm always eating by myself, man. Sweetie, haha. In the Philippines, I always have my friends since the day I am allowed to leave the house. I know, right? You never, in our heart, you never left your house by yourself, right? There's always friends picking you up. There's always relatives that like, hey, let's go to the mall, and it's going to be a group of you. You never went to the mall by yourself here. It's the dynamic that just never happens here. Hey, there's Jason Karen's Adventures. Good morning, James. Edgar Bond. It costs about $400 a month for the mall grocery store, and then maybe $14 a day buying meat and fresh vegetables and fruits for a family of 6. Morning, James Pinard. I used to have a Filipina roommates, and I still have to eat alone when husband was deployed. Everyone is working and everyone is taking care of their sanity here. Oh, let me take off my power bank here. I'm 100%. My battery's 100%, so I can take that out. I got my calamansi juice too, so it's not just coffee that I'm drinking. I'm done with my coffee, so. Eating healthy is also about portion size. Eating smaller portion can help a lot when food isn't healthy. That's true, James, but you know it is how it is with Filipinos, James. Portion control in a lot of Filipino that it doesn't equate, or it's not in their mind. A lot of Filipinos here, man, you get a plate, ton of rice, and then a little bit of veggie, a little bit of meat. Rice is life, unfortunately, for many Filipinos, and they love to eat a lot of rice, especially the men, especially the men here, especially your farmers, your fishermen. man, they're eating a big plate of rice for breakfast because they're gonna need that food. You know, in their mind, they're thinking, man, I gotta be out there in the field. I gotta be out there in the ocean, man. I have to better have a full belly and better have a lot of energy. My classmates, I remember, James, when we were in college, they would take, you know, we would go to like Mang Inasal here in Calibo during our lunch break. They will all order like one piece of chicken leg quarter in pa'a is called leg quarter, and get the green plate at Mang Inasal, the unlimited rice. And then my friends Rufo, my friend, they were at the party at my birthday party. Dudoy, man, those guys can eat like six cups of rice easy, man, with one leg quarter. They put like the soy sauce on the rice. They put the chicken oil, you know, chicken oil, and then they go to town. They go to town, man. Diet Diet is not in the Filipino vocabulary, man. Filipinos love to eat, man. May God bless and protect us. Amen. Amen. Amen there, sweetie. Hello, Jane K. James want to see one of those Viking outfits y'all saw at the store. I'll have to look at that video. Viking outfit. I haven't seen the video yet. I haven't seen the video. Take care, guys. Stay safe. All right, sweetie. Hope to meet you someday, Gino. Less than 2 years until retirement. But we are headed there next summer to scope out Manila. Las Piñas, my 8-year-old son may be going to Southville International. All right, all right. That's how Olsen, you know, with Isaiah. Isaiah is like, I think, 10 or 11. That's why, you know, school was important to him. That's why Isaiah is going to an international school also. Like, I overestimate a little bit. You overestimate a little bit. It's really hard, you know, Vaughn, you know, like estimation and all that, because until you get, you know, boots underground, until you'll know, you know, what types of food you'll buy. I'm sure your grocery shopping is going to be different from Edgar, you know. Miss Jackie, hello. Hello, Kuya Bon. All right, all right. Okay, let me look at my notes here. Make sure I hit everything here. I skipped a page. I skipped the page here. So, bahala na. Okay, Filipino men here in the Philippines. I'm comparing them to American men. You know, it's like as far as like hanging out with the fellas. You know, it's like I remember that. You know, when I was in the U.S., I had my boys who would go to a bar, just hang out. You know, watch football on the bar, a sports bar, have a few drinks. It's just a different mindset when you're going out with Filipinos or hanging out with Filipinos at a party. If it's like, you know, a lot of times when you go to a Filipino party here, the women are separate from the men. You know, the men will find an area, table or bench, and it's all going to be men circle around drinking. And the way they drink here in the Philippines, they have a thing called tagay, very common. They'll have one cup, like this cup right here. They'll fill it with beer, and that cup, or sometimes tanduay, rum and coke, that cup will rotate. Let's say there's 8 people. That tagay will just go around. After I drink mine, you're next. And you're not expected to like be sitting there chilling, sipping, you know, sipping. You're not excited. You're expected to chug that thing, you know, and it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It doesn't matter. Tagay is a thing here in the Philippines. The thing here, even the older generation, the younger generation, there could be a guy here sitting 20 years old, the next guy 60, and everybody's doing the tagay. It's kind of like a machismo thing. Like if you can't do the tagay, if you can't finish a whole cup of beer or a cup of rum and coke, you're weak. You know, it's like they'll make fun of you. You know, it's like he can't drink. He can't. That's the thing. You know, it's like when you go to parties, when you go to like the food parks here that serve alcohol at night. Man, Filipinos, when they drink to get drunk. They don't drink, when I was at the sports bar in the US, I would be sitting there, I'll milk like one beer, two beers the whole night. I could be watching the football games for like 4 hours and might end up drinking two beers. Maybe during my military days, kind of similar, where my military, when I was active duty military, we drank a lot. We drank a lot in the military, but changed once I became a civilian. More socialized drinking in the U.S. Here in the Philippines, majority of the drinking that's going on, it's not going to be social drinking. It's going to be seeing who's going to fall, seeing who's going to do sleeping on the table. I owned a resto bar. If you guys can remember, we owned a resto bar, and when we owned the resto bar in Malay, that was the thing. Every night, we had guys sleeping in our bar, sometimes laying on the ground, and their friends, it's funny, they'll be sleeping on the ground, their friends are continue drinking. It's not good, it's like, that's just the dynamic, a different dynamic when it comes to the hanging out with the fellas and drinking. Bedtime for us. All right, Jim Millie, good night, good night, good night, Jim. I know, man. I wake up early too. By 8 p.m. I'm in bed. Thank you for the live. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Night, night. Night, night. Lowell, will you get made fun of because you don't drink? Because of No, you won't. Because, like me now, I don't drink now because, after my cancer, my kidneys, so they're not going to make fun of you. There's many people here that don't drink. It's not a thing. Seems awesome. All right. Okay. Like here, it's changing a little bit. I'm seeing it more and more. Filipinos are like becoming like in America. But the mindset here, especially here in the province, how in the U.S., when you're raising a kid in the U.S., you're like overprotective with kids. You're like, if your kid's gonna go rollerblading or roller skating, that kid's gonna get a helmet, elbow pads, gloves with padding, knee. I mean, it's almost like you're like, making sure that if the kid falls, they're not hurt, right? I noticed just in America, you're always keeping an eye on your kid. It's like you're of course, because you're afraid somebody might kidnap your kid, right? That's just the thinking in America, unfortunately. Here in our neighborhood, I see kids all the time on my street here, riding around on their skateboard, on their bikes, no helmet, nothing. Sometimes I see them fall and I look, hey, you all right? It's like, I'm okay, they'll just pop up. They're like, they don't want to be embarrassed that they fell because their little friends will make fun of them. It's made a lot of, for me, just my observation, to me, it's made a lot of the kids in the U.S., to me, kind of soft because I see the kids here. When we had Gub Gub here before, one of Dazzle's nephews lived with us for over a year, Gub Gub. And he would ride, at the time he was like 4, he would ride his bike here. He takes off from the house here. I'm not worried about him because the neighborhood here keeps an eye on him. Or if he does something in the playground, I'll find out. Other kids or the other parents here, hey, Gub Gub was throwing rocks or something in the playground. That dynamic just doesn't exist in the U.S. anymore. I don't hear, I know in the U.S., if I had a kid and other parents coming up and telling me, your kid was doing this and all that, it might end up in a fight. It might end up in a fight. Here, kind of like on my neighborhood here, we all know the kids. Gub Gub, Daniel, like all the kids in our street, we know them, so it's kind of like how it was when I was growing up. You didn't want to do anything wrong in the neighborhood because they'll tell on you. The other parents or the other kids will tell your parent that you were acting up. That's the mindset. It's like here, the parents here, they allow their kids to play outside. It's like, I know in the U.S. It's hard to do that because you just never know, your kid might get kidnapped. Kuya Belus. I like province for me, mate. For sure. And yeah, for me too, Belus. It's like I love living here in the province. I could not go back. Maybe Iloilo City. If I had to pick a city, I wouldn't mind. Maybe for medical reasons, and if I end up staying more in Iloilo City for medical reasons. But I love living in the province. Between the Filipino American mindset, we get the best of both worlds and rock with it. All right, right. Go on. Let's make a Panay Pass road trip to visit your old bar. No, it's not no longer open. No longer open, unfortunately, Edgar. It closed up once we closed it. We're going to bed from North Carolina. All right. Everybody in North Carolina, go to sleep. Go to sleep. It's late. It's late in North Carolina. Yes, I cook my own meals. I bought air fryer. Oh, nice. Not air fryer. And blender. Walang aagaw. Nobody's gonna steal your food. Nobody's gonna steal your food. Oh, that's a great idea. We can do something else though, Edgar. We can all just go somewhere and do a trip, do a road trip. All meet up. All meet up somewhere. Aklan is 7. People who haven't been here, I know, right, James? I say it. It's like I always say it about Aklan Province, about Panay Island. It's a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem here in the Philippines. So many places still where it brings me back to a time of my life when I was growing up here in the Philippines back in the 70s. I would spend my summer vacations. I lived in Manila, like concrete jungle of Manila. But my summer vacations were spent with my relatives in San Rafael, Bulacan farm. They had rice farms. They own carabao. They got goats. They have chickens, and that's where I would spend my summer vacation. That's why, now that I'm retired, that's the life that I want. I want to be around more provincial, more rural people. They're just friendlier. It's like when you're here in the Philippines, the people in the provinces are just a lot nicer than the people in the cities. The people that live in the cities here, they're stressed. They're stressed, man. If you live in Manila, if you got to earn money in Manila, like a lot of my classmates from college, they work in Manila, they work in Cebu City, because that's where the jobs are. Man, it's a struggle for them. They text me all the time, man. Just getting to work, taking them 2 hours in traffic just to get to work, and then you work 9 hours, and then you got another 2 hours to go home, and then now they got flooding. Where that 2 hours just became 4 hours. I can't even. That's why when my friends tell me, man, it's a grind, it's a struggle. Whereas here in the province, for us, we get to enjoy it. James, me, we're retired here. It's understandable for my classmates. They don't have a choice because the work. We graduated as IT grads, and there's just not IT jobs here in Aklan Province. Maybe in Boracay, I know Rufo, one of the guys at the party, my birthday party. He works at the Ambassador Hotel. He takes care of their IT there. But here in Calibo, we don't even have a call center in Calibo. So not many jobs for them, unfortunately. That's why they have to go to Manila and Cebu City with IT. That's why I tell people, if you got a family member, if you got a family member that's going to be attending college, the two jobs that I think, if you're here in Aklan Province or anywhere in the province in the Philippines, the two jobs that will earn you a good paycheck once you graduate college, nursing. That's what my plan for Leanna, nursing. The other one is to become a seaman, to become one of those merchant marine, to work at cruise ships, to work at the cargo ships. Those two jobs are like here in Aklan, here in Calibo. You can attend those college. You know, we have like 4 nursing schools in Calibo. We got like Aklan Polytechnic that has that program, Merchant Marine. Those are the jobs. If you get a degree in those two jobs, you're gonna make money. You're gonna end up abroad. You're gonna make money in those jobs. But any other jobs, like any other degrees that you get here in the province, they're gonna look that degree here anyway in the province. Let's say hotel restaurant management, anything business administration, anything like that. Those your degrees here in the province, they just aren't considered enough. You know, if you're going to go to Manila, if you're going to go to Cebu City to fight for those jobs in Cebu City and Manila, that you can't compete with the universities in Manila and Cebu City. That's why if you have a kid, if you have a relative that's going to attend college here in the province, nursing and merchant marine. Guaranteed that they graduate nursing or merchant marine, they're going to get a job after. You get some of the degrees here, tourism degree, hotel restaurant management degree, any of the business, you're not going to find a good job here in Aklan. You're going to have to go to Manila and Cebu and then compete with the graduates there in Manila and Cebu. Yeah, in the 60s, 70s, when I was a kid, my mom knew what I did wrong before I got home, because I know, right? You were afraid of everybody in your neighborhood that's gonna tell on you. That still happens here. I know when the kids play here on my street, I know their names. It's like I go, hey Daniel, what's up? Hey Gub Gub, what's up? And they're showing off. They're in their bike, they're in their skateboard, they're showing off. Night, Vaughn. All right. I guess it's late. It's getting late. All right, I'll finish up here. Good morning, Jolor. Good night, Joe. Same with me, my hometown, everyone knew everybody, and many of us were related. Some parents might punish you more than your own parents if you act up. Yeah, I know a lot of times now in America, man, you can't be punishing somebody else's kid. It's like you can't even talk to another kid. If when I was in Tucson, Arizona, if I had a kid, nobody better talk to my kid. It's like because of stranger danger, stranger danger, man. Hello, my brother. Hey, Raymond. All right, from California. Hey, I got my California shirt now, given to me by Merle, Mr. Baraka. He gave me this shirt here. Continue, keep you safe. Thank you. Healthy, of course, healthy. Most important, right? Most important, stay healthy. Oh, I didn't see Ray in the Philippines here. I think you're thinking of the wrong Ray. Wrong Ray. I didn't see Ray in the Philippines in here, unless I missed him, man. Unless I missed him. I did not see him. There. All right. Awesome shirt, brother. All right. Awesome shirt. All right. Oh yeah, you can't talk to other kids here. I know, right? It's like you talk to a kid. If I was at the mall, right? If I was in the mall in the U.S., I talk to a kid. That kid's gonna go, stranger danger, stranger danger. They're gonna be like, here, it's like, I talk to the kids here. When they're showing off on their motor. I have a skateboard, so sometimes I ride skateboards with them, but they're, it's still normal. Still normal. Kids riding their bicycles, kids riding around on the skateboards, happens here almost every sunset. One of the things here with the Filipino men, the thinking. I know in America, the American men, there's that thinking that you have to everything equal. right? Because American women, they ain't gonna fly. They don't put up with like here in the Philippines. You know, the man, is expected to be the man of the family. It's like the dynamic of husband and wife, especially here in the province. It's expected to the man to provide and the woman to take care of the household, take care of the kids. That is still the dynamic here. I know in the U.S., you gotta be careful if you're a guy. If you're a guy, it's like if you're dating here, the expectation if you date a Filipina here, especially here in the province, the Filipinas' expectation here is you're gonna be the provider. A lot of times you're retired anyway, you have the income anyway, so that's not an issue. You're not gonna work here, but you're the one in charge. You make decisions for the family. The Filipinas just gonna support you. It's not the same where because in the U.S. a lot more women in the U.S. work. It's like dual income in the U.S. Here, especially if you're coming here as an expat, you're not working anyway, so it's not going to be that dual income situation. And then a lot of times, the Filipina that you meet, most expats here will tell the Filipina, okay, how much money do you make a month? If they're making 15,000 pesos a month, they'll just tell the Filipina, I'll give you the 15,000 pesos so you can quit your job. That way you can spend time with me. Because if your Filipinas working, let's say 15,000 pesos a month, that Filipina is going to be working 6 days a week, 9, 10 hours a day. You're not going to see your Filipina. So that's why the dynamic here normally is like the Filipina quits their job, spends more time with the expat here. I must say, no worries, Joe, no worries, Joe. I just had to look because I didn't want to make sure. I want to make sure I didn't miss Ray in the Philippines. Otani is, I know, I saw him hit a couple of homers the other day, so I haven't seen the game today, so he must be. Hey, there he is, my good friend Ray in Sacramento, California. Thank you so much, Ray, for joining the live stream. I drive. All right. Hey, stay focused. Stay focused on your granddaughter's driving lesson, brother. Daniel, like, smash, support the channel. All right. I'm glad you like the T-shirt. Oh man, I love it, man. I love the California shirt. It even has like a back design. I love the back design, man. Thank you again, Merle. You're get close to that 10K. All right. I'm never worried about the subscribe. You know me, Daniel. I don't do the like, subscribe. I don't do any of that, man. My thing with YouTube is I enjoy the connection I make with people. I just met Doug from Colorado. It's like he reached out to me by email. Now we're connected. It's like he's a year away from retiring here in the Philippines. Ron, I guess California. He's a vet, 100% VA disabled vet. So I just met him this past week. That's the thing I enjoy about YouTube because I know I can make a difference. I know that the guys that are moving here, they're looking for somebody that they can trust, that will give them the honest, my recommendation and my experience here. I know I can help them when they move here. Otani and PCA battling it out for national. I know. It's should be interesting. Like only about 32, 33 games, Derek. So it should be interesting how that all plays out. And for the guys that are coming here, dating, right? The passport bros, the single guys coming here for dating. Most of you know this already, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Just take your time when you date a Filipina, just because here in the Philippines, the minute you ask a Filipina for a date, they're already thinking marriage. They're already there is no, I don't believe that there is like a casual dating here in the Philippines. I don't think that exists because the minute that Filipinas friends find out that she's gonna date an afam, all her friends are, ooh, you're dating an afam, you're gonna be rich. That the minute the Filipino starts dating, that's the dynamic already. So don't think that you can go out with a Filipina and it's just a casual date, like eating out to dinner, and then afterwards, okay, I might call you or I might call you. But take your time when you're like picking out the Filipina, but once you do, they're already expecting more into that not just dating. Gino, you number one for come here. Oh, thank you so much, Belus. Appreciate that, brother. Such an asset, Kuya. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. My brother, know that. It's why we have to give you a shout out of support. All right, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Another mindset that's a little different between Filipinos and Americans. In America, once a kid hits 18, you're kind of pushing them out of the house. You're kind of pushing them out of the house because, the empty nesters, you want to be, oh, we're empty nesters now. We can do whatever we want, Heck, I have a friend in Las Vegas. He cracks me up because he's got like three little kids still, going to school. And he's funny. He makes funny videos, but his three little kids when they're going out to school, he gives them the backpack. He's an army disabled vet also, so he like puts all the backpacks on the kids, push them out the door to go to school, and then he's in the house like dancing, he's having a good time because that's the way it is. A lot of times the mentality is like, man, I can't wait till these kids are out of my house. It's I know it's for fun and saying that, but a lot of times that is the mentality. You raise your kids. Once they hit college age, you expect them to like do their own thing. Here in the Philippines, that's not the dynamic. A lot of times, the Filipinos that do well for themselves, that have the money, that have the capability, let's say they were entrepreneur, they made money, OFW, whatever, right? A lot of them will buy pieces of land and will build a compound. That compound, they plan for their kids like, my oldest son, this is your lot, this is where I'm building your house here. The daughter, this is, very common dynamic here where you meet a Filipina and you visit the parents' home when you get there, and the parents' house is here, the sister's house is here, the uncle's house is here. A whole tribe of people living in one area. You just don't see that a lot in America anymore. A lot of times, the minute the kid turns 18, like for me, I joined the military. I'm out. It's like I'm living in a different state. I'm living in a different country. A lot of times that's the dynamic. Different mentality. Where in the U.S., the independence is important to Americans. Doing my own thing. It's like I'm grown now. My parents got no control over me anymore. I'm doing my own thing. Whereas here in the Philippines, the Filipina that you're gonna meet here in the Philippines, the parents has a lot of control over that Filipina. Don't matter if that Filipina's in her 20s, 30s, even 40s. She's still gonna be afraid of the parents here. That's just the way it is. The parents here has a lot of control on their kids. Mr. Baraka, I said hi. Daniel, who are you using for SRB? How is your experience with them? Thank you. All right, Obi, best decision we made is moving here. I knew it, man. I knew it, Olsen. I remember Olsen like more than a year ago, we started talking to each other, even offline, right? We do audio calls, video calls. And I knew it, Olsen. I knew that was going to be the best decision for you. Your son Isaiah, he's gonna have an amazing life here. He's gonna be a superstar here. He's gonna be a superstar with his classmates here, coming in from America. He's gonna have many friends here. You guys will have fun here for sure. You're gonna have family. You're gonna have friends. some things that it's hard to get that anymore in America. Americans, uh, they're careful about friendship. They're careful. Maybe it's reasonable that they're careful because the stuff that's going on in America. But yeah, here, Isaiah's gonna grow up in the best environment for him. I just need to get into a relaxed mind and not rush. Hey, it takes time, brother. It takes time. That's a transition that everybody that retires in the Philippines when they get here, because we were programmed in the United States to be go go go, right? We're like working 8 9 hours a day. The minute we get off work, you're like, man, I gotta get my car washed. I gotta get grocery. I gotta cook dinner. I gotta go work out in the gym. Your time was like that in the U.S. So you're like time management. Time management was like critical to get a lot of things done in the U.S. Where now you're retired, brother. Now you got all the time now. So it takes time, though. I would say probably in about a year being here, because you're going to be busy now because you're trying to get Isaiah settled, your wife settled, your housing situation settled. In about a year, yeah, I see you getting into that island style living, the island time. You're not going to even look at your watch anymore. Mr. Boracay. Boracay is the best place to retire. Thank you. I told you that, right? I told you that, Merle. That's why I retired in Boracay my first 18 months here. I tell people that all the time, Merle. Boracay, you cannot go wrong retiring in Boracay. Everything is there. And the beach, like me, I'm a beach person. Merle is the same, he's a beach person. It's so much, it's so healing. All the crap, all the crap that we had to put up with in the U.S., all the stuff, the pressure of work, the pressure of family, the pressure, if you come to Boracay Island and that's your retirement destination, all that stuff is gonna go away. It's like the walks on the beach, the swimming on the beach, the chilling on the beach. You're just gonna you're gonna start thinking, and I know Merle is like thinking the same thing now. It's like, why was I worried about so much stuff in the U.S. man? Yes, took me 3 years to slow 3 years. That's a long time, Belize. 3 years, still go go go. I know you are, man. I know Belize, man. I think that's the cowboy in you, brother. I think that's that Wyoming cowboy. I know Wyoming cowboys. I know you guys like a hard worker from the sunrise to sunset. You want to be working with your hands. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, brother. You can't slow down. You can't slow down, brother. My time is more important than money now. And I'm glad to hear that, Merle, because I wish more people can realize that. I wish more people. I see it all the time when I'm on different Facebook groups. People are so focused on the money. They're like, I'm bringing 5,000 in the Philippines. I'm bringing $7,000 a month in the Philippines. To me, the money that you're bringing here in the Philippines, that's not gonna be your happiness here in the Philippines. I don't care how much money you bring here to the Philippines. What's gonna bring you happiness here in the Philippines is the people in your life, the family that hopefully you can find here, the family that will support you and take care of you, and the friends. You can have all the money if you have here, and I see it. I have people that I see it. I'm not gonna mention any names. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I see it. I know people that got all kinds of money here, but I can tell they're not happy because they don't have the connection with people. They don't have the friendships that I have. I'm not going to brag, Merle's a brother, JP's a brother, Edgar's my brother. I got this connection with people. Belus, I haven't even met him in person. I feel like he's my brother. Michael S. I have this connection with people that when I get to see them and we get to hang out, we're having fun. We're like brothers that like, man, how did we get so lucky? How did we get to this time of our life where we're no longer worried about money. We're not no longer worried about keeping up with the Joneses. Who's got the best house? Who's got the best car? We don't think like that. When we hang out, we're just talking, fun stuff. The fishing adventure. When I hanged out with Merle, we were just like walking down the beach. We're just like, talking nonsense, but having fun doing it. Those kind of things, money can't buy it. It's like, I don't care how much money you bring here to the Philippines. If you're not a good person, you're not going to attract good people in your life. If you got issues, where, you think you're better than everyone else, you're not going to do well here. Filipinos, they will catch that quick. The locals here, they will recognize that very fast, where you think you're better than them. Not gonna go well. Not gonna go well for you here. You gotta respect the locals here. It don't matter how poor they are. Don't matter how they struggle. You treat them the same way you want to be treated here. I got a message this morning where I made that video about persona non grata, and somebody made a comment there saying, well, I'll take my money elsewhere. And go, good riddance. If you've got that attitude, you come to the Philippines, you think you're better than everybody because you have money. Filipinos don't need your money. You might think they do, but the locals that you're gonna run into, they're not making any money from you. It's like, so don't think that. Don't think that. Cooper, I feel like a pinball bouncing everywhere. But hey, Doug, we will work on that. We will work on that, Doug. It's like to find you a spot. Find you a spot here in the Philippines. What I always tell people when they come to the Philippines, it's good to like find that soft landing, find a good area here in the Philippines where a smooth landing, not a lot of hardship to come your way. Have a home base, because a lot of times the newly arrived people here in the Philippines, a lot of times they want to explore. They want to explore the Philippines. It's a lot easier, Doug, if you find a home base. It doesn't have to be like an expensive place. Ruben, his apartment in Calibo is 8,000 pesos, like $130 a month, or even less now with the exchange rate. He uses that apartment as his home base because he travels to Dumaguete City. He travels to Angeles City, Davao City, but it's good because when he travels, he don't have to carry all that stuff. Now he can carry just a backpack, maybe a small suitcase, easier to travel. We'll find you a spot. We'll find you a spot here, Doug. Was telling wife, I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. You're eating too much. Need fitness. She said, not a chance. I guess I have to prove her wrong. LOL. I know you do a lot of walking, man. On your videos, I see you walking in the farm and everything. That's a routine for me. Every single morning, doesn't matter. Now, even if it rains, I got an umbrella. I'm walking out here in the subdivision for 5 kilometers. I have an Apple Watch to track my 5 kilometers a day. And that's the minimum I do. I still walk during the day, like in Calibo, if I'm making a video, if Dazzle in the evening time, if she wants to walk together on Sunset. Big part of my routine now is walking, keep walking. My SR is being done by CNG Consulting. There have been some ups and downs, but I would use them again. All right, good to hear, Daniel. Again, thank you, Daniel. Hey, there he is, Colonel. Hey, Colonel, are you still in Thailand? Are you still in Thailand? I know you were in Phuket. I watched that your live at Phuket, man. I was surprised. I was like messaging with the Colonel, and he goes, he kept it a secret going to Phuket, man. Mr. Baraka, even the people renting the surfboards and boogie boards are friends now. They told me it's free whenever I want to. Of course, they become your friend now. Now you can use their boards for free. That happens, because you're becoming a local in Baraka. I experienced the same thing, it's like. I have many good friends here now. I know you do, man. I saw those. Merle sent me a picture, man. He's got one in the police uniform. One was like a bodyguard. You know, it's like a. I told him, man, you're a baller, man. You got bodyguards now in Boracay, man. I miss the people that cares around you in the Philippines. If you help them, they really care in return. There are still some bad apples, but yeah, you're gonna meet bad apples, anywhere you go in the world, unfortunately. But the one that touches your heart, like for me here, the simple kindness of people, simple gestures. Like I said, a neighbor, just like I could be sitting here, they'll just pop their head here in my outdoor area, and they go, hey, I got you guys some plantain bananas. Oh, from their farm. We just picked this from our farm. We wanted you guys to have some and taste our, what we have in our farm. So to me, it's like the kindness of people. I still see it here. That's why I like living here. Hi, Colonel and Crisel from Pinaya. Hi, Colonel from Ubi. If you're still in USA, contact them first to know what you can do before you arrive. It will save you lots of time and money. For sure, right? If you're still in the US, if you're doing that, get the requirements. If there's some requirements you could get done regarding SR retirement visa here in the US, like apostling your documents in the US, will save you time and money for sure. Lowell, morning, Colonel. God bless. Morning, Jackie. Morning, Lowell. Hello, Colonel. How was your land? Oh, landed in Manila already. All right. Good morning, everyone from I know you're in Phuket. I know you're in Phuket in Thailand. And we definitely don't want people coming here treating the locals badly. If you think you're better than the average person, please don't come here. Please don't come here. Rough, Daniel. Rough, Daniel. I stay away from people that think they're better than other people. I don't tell them I'm from America. That's why I like meeting humble and kind locals. Correct, Edgar. Will do, Daniel. I'm not sure who to use. Other before I leave. Yeah. The more you get done in Lowell, the more you get done in the US, the better. Colonel, happy you arrived. Happy you arrived alive. Colonel, salute from the Colonel. All right, let me just look at my notes here. If I miss saying compound, I'll talk about that. I talk a little bit about about the mindset in America. Once you get your kids to like college age, especially if you paid for their college, you're pretty much done, with your responsibility, right? That, if you had saved money for your kids' college, they're in college now, they're living in a dormitory, you're pretty much done with your kid. Your kid, hey, go find your life. Go find your, what you're gonna do with the rest of your life. Here, that's not a dynamic, it's like here, if you're blessed enough here in the Philippines where your parents were able to send you to college, especially the big colleges in Manila, UP Diliman, those colleges able to send you to a Harvard type degree here. The expectation when you graduate, doesn't matter if you're a male, doesn't matter if you're a female, the expectation is for you to pay your parents back or help your younger siblings if you have younger siblings. That's the expectation here in the Philippines still. For most families, that's still the expectation. Different mindset there were in America, the mindset, the your parents are supposed to get you to college, supposed to raise you. And then once you're graduating college, you're free to attack, you're free to do whatever you want in your life. Your parent is not expecting you to pay them back. But here in the Philippines, again, because of the money issues, a lot of Filipinos here, elderly Filipinos, they don't have a retirement. They're not going to get a paycheck from the, a senior citizen here. They might get 1,000 pesos, $17 from the government. You can't live on that here. So The expectation here is like uh, the kids providing for their parents when they get older. Another mindset that's different happens a little bit in the U.S., but a lot of times when you marry somebody in the U.S., you're just marrying the person. You're not worried about the woman's parents or whatever. Here in the Philippines, when you marry a Filipina here, especially in the province, you're marrying the parents and the family and the siblings. You gain parents. Like mom. I'm older than mom, but I call her mom because out of respect. Uh, Not a dynamic that I see in America. A lot of times you marry somebody in the U.S. Their parents aren't around even. They might be in a different state. You don't have to worry. Here, a lot of times, especially here in the province, the Filipina that you'll meet here, mom and dad is around. Chances are your Filipina is still living at home with mom and dad and her siblings. So keep that in mind. It's a little different mindset here. Money, I talked about money. Growing middle class. Oh, I hit a lot of the topics already here, because from the comments that kind of pushed me towards talking about. Oh, another thing, that money situation that's a little different. In the U.S., when you're an American man and you get married, when you get divorced, there's alimony that you got to worry about there. There's child support till the kid is 18. Here in the Philippines, since there's no divorce, you can't get, there's not a divorce here. The Filipino men here, they'll just leave. And a lot of times, they'll just start under their family. They can't get married anymore to their next family. But common, unfortunately, happens to many Filipinas here, where their husband leaves and you don't hear from them anymore. Or also happens here where you see a lot of single moms, because a lot of the guys here, especially the younger guys, when they're not all, of course, there's some. I got classmates that stepped up to the plate. Calkin stepped up to the plate and married Risa. Now they have one son. But a lot of times, the guys that I went to college with, or batchmates from STI College Calibo, they get a girl pregnant, they take off. They break up with them. Very common dynamic here. Or again, because there's not that if you get a girl pregnant here, you got to worry about the child support for that kid. In the U.S., most men in the U.S. know this. If you get a girl pregnant, it don't matter if you marry the girl, not marry the girl, you're gonna pay child support for that kid for 18 years at least. At least here in the Philippines, that's not a dynamic. A lot of the men here know that they can just take off and not worry about paying child support. The Colonel. It's what Americans call, yeah, empty nesters, and they can't wait, right? A lot of times they're like popping up the champagne when the kid is in college and they're gone. They can now live their life. A lot of times they live in the big house, they sell the big house, and they move to the Philippines. They move to Mexico, Thailand. They get to do what they want finally. Marites, hello po. Gino, will you give my info to connect me if you want to pick my brains? Pick my brains, pick my brains. Haha, I'm older than my wife's mother by 2 years. Yeah, same with me. I'm older than Dazzle's mom. I call her mom because, and I give her that respect that she's my mom now too, because she's taking care of me, taking care of Dazzle, taking care of Liana. Pinay, yes, in Philippines, our parents didn't get support by the government. That's why they work so hard all their life. Then we kids do our best to help pay them back. Oh, I got somebody here. Maybe delivery? Maybe delivery? Looks like I have a package. You look like a package delivery here. Obi, great to see you, Kuya. Oh, thank you, Olsen, Aliyah, and my good buddy Isaiah from Maribeles in Bataan. Oh, right there, Dazzle's got a package. Delivery, delivery. Have a safe, great day. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm on the 2 hour mark here. I'm gonna end the live stream here. I think I pretty much covered everything anyway. Let me see. I have one last page of notes here. Make sure I hit that. Dazzle's awake. She got a package. She got a package. All right, I think I covered everything. I covered everything. Hopefully everybody had fun. Hopefully everybody had fun on the live stream. Is there places to get DNAs to be sure? Yes, that actually has become popular here in the Philippines, Daniel, the DNA, because a lot of uh, people that collect Social Security here in the Philippines are having kids. That's a common dynamic that I see now because that's when you're collecting Social Security and you have a kid with a Filipina here, you don't have to be married to the Filipina. That kid is entitled, I think, 50 to 60% of the amount that you're getting. So if you're getting $2,000 in Social Security, that kid is now eligible for at least 1,000. And then if you die, that kid is eligible for 75% till the kid is 18 years old. There's stipulations further than that. So the embassy here, the Social Security Department, not all, they don't require it all, but common for them to require a DNA test because heck, they don't want Americans here claiming, hey, I have a kid, I need more Social Security. You know, they don't want that happening. So there is a process here to get DNA done to verify that you're the kid's parent for Social Security purposes. Take care and God bless, brother. All right, great show. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you joining the live stream, Doug, for the awesome live. All right, cool. Yes, I watched Senator Tufo YouTube show. He mentioned, yeah. There's plenty of them now near the DNA. It's near Manila. The big hospitals in around Manila area are the ones that do it. A lot of them because the again because of the Social Security. Many Americans here collecting Social Security are having kids, so that's why the very common now. DNA is very common here in the Philippines now. Bye, brother Gino. Thank you. All right, in our heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream right here. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Everyone, please stay blessed. Please stay blessed.